The film begins with a sketched animated prologue that recounts the story of a young boy called Christopher Robin and how he once befriended an eccentric bunch of adolescents talking creatures, including a bear called Winnie-the-Pooh, Rabbit, Eeyore, the donkey, Piglet, and Owl, who resided in the 100-acre wood. Christopher played with the creatures and daily brought them food from his kitchen. But over time, Christopher grew up and left his friends for college to train to become a doctor. All the animals in the woods were left to fend for themselves during this time. During one particularly severe winter, the creatures began to starve. They had no choice but to kill one of them for food, and the group ended up choosing Eeyore to satiate their hunger. However, this incident proved to be deeply traumatic for the creatures, and they developed a hatred for human beings, especially Christopher Robin, for leaving them. The group abandoned their humanity and returned to their animalistic roots, making a pact never to talk again. 5 years later, a grown-up, Christopher Robin's, Nikolai Leon, finally returns to the woods with his fiancée, Mary, Paula Coyce. Christopher intends to reunite with his friends and also introduce them to Mary, who is skeptical about these creatures and believes them to be a figment of his imagination. When Christopher nears their place of meeting, he sees it all devastated and comes across a scarred photo of himself. Mary is scared by the dreary atmosphere of the area and suggests that the duo leave. Before they can exit the premises, Pooh enters the place and sleeps on his bed. Mary and Christopher hide for a while and then try to escape. Suddenly, Mary is asphyxiated to death by Piglet. Despite Christopher's pleas to stop, Piglet does not listen and comes after him. Pooh wakes up and joins Piglet in chasing Christopher. As they corner him, Christopher apologizes to them for leaving, but the two are unmoved and hold him captive. We then follow Maria Taylor, a woman dealing with PTSD following a stalking incident in the past. Her therapist suggests that Maria takes a holiday to take her mind off the horrible incident. Maria follows suit and takes her friends, Zoe, Danielle Ronald, Laura, Natasha Tosanai, Jess, Natasha Rose Mills, and Alice, Amber Doyd Thorne, to a cabin near the 100-acre wood. Another friend, Tina, May Kelly, informs the group that she will be late to join the group. While on her way, Tina loses her way and comes across Pooh, who chases her inside an abandoned factory and chops her inside a tree chipper. The film cuts back to Christopher, who has now been imprisoned by Pooh and Piglet tied up in chains. Christopher begs Pooh to let him go, and momentarily, Pooh remembers his childhood memories with his human friend. However, Pooh's rage takes over him, and he begins to whip Christopher and makes him bathe in Mary's blood. When Pooh later goes to dispose of Mary's corpse, he hears loud music emanating from the cabin where Maria and her friends reside. Meanwhile, Laura is relaxing in the pool, clicking selfies. In one of the photographs, Laura sees a silhouette of Pooh but ignores it, believing it to be Maria's stalker. Piglet and Pooh suddenly attack her. Laura is then tied up and made to lie down on the road as Pooh drives a car over her, smashing her head. The girls hear Laura's scream and come out of their rooms to investigate. They find a threatening message, "Get out," sprayed with blood on the glass window. Scared that an intruder is outside the house, the girls prepare to hide. Zoe and Alice, who are also lovers, go to ensure the back door is closed. Just as they confess their love for one another, they are attacked by Piglet, who bludgeons Zoe with a hammer and abducts Alice. Meanwhile, Maria remembers that she has a gun in her room. She and Jess go to retrieve the gun and chase after Pooh and Piglet. However, they are unable to shoot the duo as they carry Alice with them. Later, Maria and Jess encounter Pooh smearing honey over his face and beating Alice. When he leaves, Maria and Jess free Alice and the trio prepare to escape. Just as they are escaping, they hear another woman scream and go to investigate. They encounter an incarcerated Christopher and untie him. A wounded Christopher tells them that Pooh and Piglet have abducted another woman, and the three of them decide to help her. Maria, Jess, and Alice encounter a badly mauled woman called Charlene, who recounts her horrific ordeal about how Piglet beat her. When they free Charlene, she is aghast to see her disfigured face in the glass and vows to avenge the brutality inflicted upon her. Charlene snatches the gun from Maria and goes after Piglet. She holds him at gunpoint but soon realizes that there are no bullets left to shoot. Before she can do anything, she is killed by Pooh with her face later eaten by Piglet. Pooh then chases after Jess and Maria. Meanwhile, a vengeful Alice goes after Piglet to avenge her lover's death. She proceeds to tie him and hammers him in the head. Piglet's squeals attract Pooh, and he returns to stab Alice to death. A scared Maria and Jess managed to get on the road. They stop a bunch of rustic mechanics driving by and ask for their help. Pooh manages to catch up with the girls. The mechanics beat Pooh, but he soon manages to overpower them, killing all four of them. Maria and Jess try to run over Pooh, but he manages to climb over the truck. Maria presses the brakes, which causes her to hit her head on the steering wheel, rendering her unconscious. When an unconscious Maria wakes up, she sees Pooh beheading Jess. Before he can stab Maria, Christopher arrives in a car and crushes Pooh, pinning him between the two vehicles. An injured Maria and Christopher begin to escape, but a seemingly dead Pooh revives and gets hold of Maria. A horrified Christopher tries to get hold of Pooh's conscience for one last time and begs him to let Maria go. Christopher promises to stay with Pooh forever for the rest of his life if he lets her go. Pooh is, however, not convinced and reminds of Christopher's betrayal by muttering, "You left." He then slits Maria's throat. A shocked Christopher consoles a dying Maria, who tells him to go. Before Pooh comes after him, Christopher rushes out of the woods as Pooh repeatedly stabs Maria's body in anger. Hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to subscribe the channel and press the bell icon for more videos. Thanks for watching.